The reason your face suddenly appears to be sliding downward isn't a lack of peptides. It's an aggressive internal attack carried out by an enzyme armed with molecular shears. This is the toxic habit that activates those shears, actively cutting the collagen that holds your beautiful features lifted. 20. The silent toxin in your bloodstream. Forget the sun, forget sugar. The true age accelerator is a colorless, odorless hormone already in your bloodstream. We call it cortisol. And while it keeps you safe in a crisis, its long-term effect is to dismantle the precious scaffolding of your face. This is the ultimate betrayal, because this toxin is self-created. We are poisoning our own beauty. When that urgent signal becomes chronic, cortisol floods the system, behaving like a permanent, invisible wrecking ball. Scientific studies confirm high cortisol initiates a catabolic state, prioritizing breaking down tissues rather than building and repairing them. The target? The vast network of collagen and elastin that keeps your face firm. You are paying a high price for perpetually answering the nervous system's false alarm. Cortisol's half-life ensures this destructive process is running 24 hours a day, making it far more damaging than any single external exposure. This chronic attack dictates resilient aging versus rapid decline. But precisely how does this internal chemical breakdown visually manifest? We must now expose the specific enzyme that cortisol unleashes, acting like molecular shears, to actively collapse the very framework of your timeless beauty. 19. The cortisol cusp. Why your collagen is collapsing. You spend a fortune on peptides, but a biological assassin deep within your dermis is armed with tiny molecular scissors. Cortisol is the handler of this destructive enzyme, and its mission is the active dismantling of your facial scaffolding. This is an aggressive internal attack. The villain is collagenase. In healthy skin, it's a cleanup crew, but chronic stress overactivates this enzyme. Instead of routine maintenance, collagenase goes rogue, cutting through healthy collagen and elastin like wildfire. This is the physical reason why your cheeks suddenly feel hollow and your face appears to be sliding downward. The immediate consequence is a profound loss of volume, hollows, and the distressing onset of sag and droop that cannot be corrected by surface treatments alone. You are buying expensive materials while the foundation collapses from within. This is the cortisol cusp, where repair is overwhelmed by breakdown. But destruction doesn't stop at structure. The same stress hormones unleash a chemical process that turns your youthful elasticity into stiff, rigid tissue, permanently hardening your beautiful expression. 18. The sweet betrayal that hardens your face. When stress hits, we reach for comfort, chocolate or wine. What we don't realize is that these cravings, fueled by a nervous system on edge, trigger a chemical process akin to caramelization happening inside your skin, permanently stiffening your facial architecture. This process is glycation, where excess sugars bond with collagen and elastin. Cortisol is the co-conspirator. It directly elevates your blood sugar levels for crisis. These elevated sugars meet proteins to form advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. Imagine these AGEs like sticky, rigid glue. Instead of remaining supple, the fibers become brittle, glass-like, and permanently fused, losing their ability to snap back. This is why the face begins to develop a distinct, inelastic texture, deepening fine lines into permanent etchings. You are paying for a moment of comfort with a lifetime of premature facial rigidity. The sugar you crave becomes the chemical anchor that holds your face rigid. But the destruction caused by stress is not always structural. Sometimes it's a visible, persistent fire that leaves your skin permanently red and irritated. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt your skin still feels thirsty no matter what you apply. 17. The perpetual fire that gives you the reds. That sudden flush, the persistent redness, the skin that feels constantly irritated. You try every calming moisturizer, but the fire is being stoked by your nervous system. Stress keeps your face locked in a low-grade, perpetual war of inflammation, leading to visible, permanent damage. Chronic stress pumps out powerful chemical messengers called inflammatory cytokines. They circulate everywhere, reaching the face where they relentlessly attack the skin's critical dermal barrier. This barrier, your first line of defense, is compromised by neurogenic inflammation, making your skin hypersensitive to everything. The consequence is persistent, distracting redness, an increase in rosacea flares, and the tragic breakdown of delicate capillaries that leave spider veins etched across your cheeks. You are treating the smoke on the surface while the furnace of stress burns beneath. You cannot soothe the sensitivity externally until you neutralize the deep, constant signal of danger that your nervous system is sending. The same internal alarm system that creates this visible fire also sabotages your face's ability to renew itself. We must now explore how stress grounds the internal assembly line of cell repair, resulting in a face that always looks exhausted and dull. 16. The day your cells stop reading the clock. Your skin is an efficient self-cleaning factory, constantly renewing layers to maintain a luminous glow. But stress grounds the entire assembly line, leading to a profound loss of radiance that makes your face look perpetually exhausted. When the nervous system is overwhelmed, the flood of cortisol halts non-essential processes, including the engine of skin renewal. This hormonal override significantly slows the cellular turnover rate. The delay in mitosis, or cell division, causes a stubborn buildup of dead, dull cells on the skin's outermost layer. This keratinized layer scatters light rather than reflecting it, instantly robbing your complexion of its natural vitality. You are left with a texture that looks heavy and muted, like looking through a dusty window pane. The vibrant glow of youthful skin disappears because the internal clock of renewal has been temporarily sabotaged. This profound slowdown creates a tired look that no amount of cosmetic camouflage can truly hide. But the sabotage continues through the night, where stress works to steal your essential repair hours while you are supposedly asleep. 15. The stolen hour. Why your face can't repair itself. You think you got a full 8 hours of sleep, yet you wake feeling unrestored, and your face looks more exhausted. The most critical repair cycle for your skin was sabotaged because stress ensured your body believed it was still running from danger. The nighttime hours are when your skin synthesizes collagen and neutralizes damage. This crucial repair peaks during the delta wave, or deep sleep stage. Chronic stress keeps your nervous system hyper-alert, making it nearly impossible to access this deep restorative cycle. The flood of cortisol creates nighttime cortisol spikes, suppressing melatonin and human growth hormone, both vital for repair. By keeping you in light, fragmented sleep, stress prevents your face from activating its nightly recovery sequence. Your face is deprived of the structural and antioxidant assistance it needs, and accumulated damage remains in place. This nightly sabotage leads to a profound lack of cellular repair. The consequences of this interrupted sleep are most dramatically visible in one area: the dark, permanent shadows that stress casts beneath your eyes, visible proof of a sleepless repair cycle. 14. The shadow under the eye, stress's dark mark. We spend untold effort concealing dark circles, but that persistent discoloration isn't simply tiredness. It's a visible, permanent shadow cast by an internal plumbing disaster caused by chronic stress. The skin beneath your eyes is the thinnest on your body, displaying internal turmoil quickly. Chronic inflammation and poor circulation from stress lead to damage in the microcapillaries of the orbital area. These vessels begin to leak. The blood that pools and leaks leaves behind pigments called hemosiderin. Think of it as metallic rust showing through stress-thinned skin. This is not surface level. You are dealing with an internal bruise that makeup can only temporarily mute. Furthermore, the lack of deep restorative sleep means the lymphatic system fails to drain this pooling fluid. The stress that prevents your rest simultaneously ensures the stain remains visible. This internal staining gives the face a look of profound entrenched fatigue. Yet, the stress hormone is also manipulating the very muscles of your face, hardening worry into permanent rigid etchings. 13. The taut mask. Why worry lines are misnamed? The deep etchings across your forehead and between your brows are often dismissed as simple worry lines, but this is a profound misnomer. These lines are the result of a permanent subconscious state of muscular tension that forces your face to wear a taut, armored mask. When your nervous system is on edge, high levels of cortisol and adrenaline keep facial muscles in a state of chronic, low-level contraction. This is muscle memory driven by the sympathetic nervous system. Even while you sleep, these muscles are subconsciously clenching and tightening. Over years, this relentless mechanical pressure physically deepens the glabellar lines, the infamous 11s, and the horizontal furrows of the forehead. You may look perfectly calm, yet the muscles are sending a constant rigid signal to the skin. The youthful face uses its muscles for expression, but the stressed face uses them as a permanent brace, holding tension and accelerating the visible aging process. This muscle memory locks negative expressions into your face. Yet, chronic stress sabotages the face in another fundamental way, actively starving your skin of essential hydration, regardless of how many moisturizers you apply. 12. The mirage of moisturizing. Why your skin never drinks enough. You layer on the richest creams, yet your skin still feels chronically thirsty, tight, and dry. The reason your face can't hold moisture is that, in a chronic state of stress, your body is strategically redirecting life-giving hydration away from your face. This is a devastating trick of the nervous system. When the fight or flight response is activated, the body prioritizes core organs and muscles. The skin is deemed a non-essential surface. Blood flow is diverted internally, restricting the essential water and nutrients needed to maintain surface cells. This internal starvation causes profound surface dehydration, creating a cascade effect where the skin looks creepy, lacks suppleness, and fine lines are dramatically deepened. Your expensive products can't hold water the body refuses to supply. They sit on a thirsty surface because the internal plumbing has been shut off by the ongoing stress signal. You are trying to hydrate from the outside, while the problem lies in the core management system. The result is a face that appears perpetually shrunken and depleted. And this stress-induced drought also causes a devastating failure in the face's protective shield, leaving you open to constant irritation and sensitivity. 11. The cracked shield. Why your face burns easily. The sudden switch to perpetually sensitive skin, the flaking, the relentless tightness. This is a devastating failure of your skin's defense system. Cortisol is actively dismantling the critical shield that keeps toxins out and moisture locked in. Your skin barrier is a complex structure of lipids and ceramides. When stress becomes chronic, the flood of stress hormones directly interferes with the machinery responsible for manufacturing these essential barrier components. Elevated cortisol hinders the production of these ceramides. The result is a cracked shield that becomes porous and reactive. It allows environmental irritants and pollutants easy access to deeper layers, triggering the inflammation we discussed earlier. Simultaneously, essential moisture evaporates rapidly, exacerbating the drought and making your skin chronically tight, red, and prone to flaking. This breakdown means your face is left vulnerable, overreacting to stimuli it previously ignored. You are left with a raw, hypersensitive canvas. This failure of the face's exterior defense mirrors an internal chaos that affects your body's delicate living ecosystem. Next, we must expose how stress can poison the invisible garden of microbes that rule your facial health. 10. The invisible war on your smile and what it means. Your face is ruled by an invisible, vast garden of microbes. And stress is the poison that can tip this delicate ecosystem into utter chaos. Persistent skin issues on your jawline might not be food-related, but microbe-related, signaling an internal imbalance. This invisible ecosystem is your microbiome, profoundly affected by the stress-brain axis. When cortisol signals are high, they alter the chemical environment on your skin's surface and in your gut, favoring the overgrowth of undesirable bacteria or yeast. This communication breakdown can trigger intense neurogenic inflammation, causing persistent issues like perioral dermatitis or deep, painful adult acne along the chin and jawline. This manifestation is not a simple breakout. It's a desperate cry from your whole system, signaling that the microbial harmony is compromised. You are fighting a war you cannot see. This problem will cycle until the internal communication pathway, the gut and the brain, is calmed. This invisible sabotage affects everything from your skin's smoothness to its ability to heal. But stress also targets the face's frame itself, sending a premature retirement notice to the essential follicles that give your face volume. 9. The receding frame. How stress steals your volume. Your face is framed by your hair, and a subtle loss of density instantly adds years to your perceived age. Stress is not just making your skin thinner, it's sending a premature retirement notice to your essential hair follicles. Chronic high levels of cortisol act as an abrupt shock. This shock forces a large percentage of actively growing hairs, often 30% or more, out of the anagen or growth phase and into a synchronized resting phase known as telogen effluvium. This causes shedding approximately 2 to 4 months after a major stressful event. This is why you see increased thinning, particularly above the temples and along the part line, where the loss dramatically changes the facial aesthetic. Hair that once provided a soft, voluminous frame to the face suddenly recedes and thins, reinforcing an appearance of fragility. This is an essential component of the toxic habit, stealing volume and life from your most visible assets. This structural depletion also targets a deeper, more painful vulnerability. Next, we must expose how stress forces the adrenal glands to create hormone imbalances that manifest as persistent, painful blemishes on the adult face. 8. The adult breakout that isn't puberty. If you are a woman over 50, battling deep, painful cystic blemishes along your chin and jawline, you are decades past puberty. This isn't a simple food sensitivity. It is a desperate cry from your adrenal glands, forced into overdrive by chronic stress. The adrenal glands manage stress by producing cortisol. But as you move through the postmenopausal years, the ovaries slow estrogen, forcing the adrenals to pick up the slack, including the production of some androgens. When these adrenals are perpetually stressed, they become exhausted and can release an excess of these androgens. These hormonal fluctuations lead directly to the classic pattern of persistent, deep-seated blemishes along the lower third of the face. These blemishes are slow to heal and often leave lasting marks. The face is visibly manifesting the hormonal imbalance caused by the constant need to manage life's pressures. You are trying to treat the symptom topically, but the root cause is a systemic adrenal overdrive caused by the toxic habit. This relentless hormonal fatigue is clearly visible on the surface. But the damage inflicted by stress goes even deeper, literally accelerating the biological clock inside every one of your cells. 7. The aging clock. Why stress speeds up time? Forget the surface damage. Cortisol is doing something far more sinister, accelerating the literal physical clock inside every cell in your body. Chronic stress is jamming the fast-forward button on your fundamental DNA. The secret to our biological age lies in tiny protective caps on the ends of our chromosomes called telomeres. They prevent the fraying of your genetic material. Scientific research has definitively linked chronic unmanaged stress and high cortisol exposure to rapid telomere shortening. When the toxic habit accelerates this process, your cells reach their age limit decades prematurely. This is the ultimate betrayal. The habit accelerates your biological genetic aging, making your face visibly age faster than your chronological years. You are dealing with a systemic countdown, accelerated by the demands of a high-stress life. This internal acceleration creates visible structural decay. But the damage is also visible in the subtle, unsettling ways that stress creates asymmetry, subtly tilting your beautiful facial landscape as a direct result of subconscious tension. 6. The uneven pull, the subtle tilt of stress. Look closely in the mirror. Do you see a subtle asymmetry, perhaps a jawline that looks more drawn on one side? This silent imbalance is years of unconscious tension finally tilting your beautiful facial landscape. Chronic stress encourages specific postural habits driven by the nervous system. Think of clenching your jaw during a tense call or habitually sleeping on one side. Over time, these actions cause a permanent imbalance in the underlying facial muscles. The muscles on the constantly engaged side can experience hypertrophy, subtly pulling the facial features out of equilibrium. The jowls may appear heavier on one side or the corner of the mouth downturned. This is structural fatigue caused by decades of subtle, asymmetrical force. You are witnessing the physical manifestation of stress, hardening your face into a slight, uneven mask of pressure. The damage caused by this relentless, subtle pressure is amplified by modern living. Next, we expose how stress meets technology in a devastating double attack we call the blue light trap. 5. The blue light trap, when stress meets technology. You reach for your phone to unwind, seeking distraction, but the physical position and the light itself create a silent secondary layer of stress damage. Your screen is the perfect conduit for the toxic habit to quietly ruin your face. This is the dual disaster of the tech neck and digital squint working in concert. Stress often leads to intense scrolling, forcing the neck into chronic downward flexion. This posture accelerates the permanent sagging of the jowls and the etching of horizontal bands across the neck. Simultaneously, blue light causes the eyes to strain, deepening the fine lines known as crow's feet and the lines between the brows. This is the ultimate modern contradiction, the device we use to cope with. Stress is physically reinforcing the negative expressions and structural collapse caused by that stress. The combination creates a structural burden on your entire lower face and neck. You are reinforcing the habit with the very technology you rely upon. This physical reinforcement etches your internal anxiety onto your face. We must now explore how stress hardens these anxious moments into a negative default mask that speaks volumes even when you are silent. 4. The expression etch, hardening the lines of grief. The lines becoming permanently etched onto your face are not just from laughing. They are from the constant, subtle, subconscious expressions of worry and irritation. Stress hardens these negative expressions into a rigid, unmistakable default mask. The process is rooted in neuromuscular memory. When the toxic habit is active, your brain sends constant, low-level signals that keep the muscles responsible for frowning and squinting engaged. Over decades, this constant engagement mechanically sets the features. The deepening of the 11s, the downward pull at the corners of the mouth, and the furrowing above the brow are physical recordings of your emotional history. This is reinforced by the lack of restorative sleep, preventing muscles from ever achieving true relaxation. The result is a face whose default expression appears drained, tired, or perpetually displeased. You are unwittingly broadcasting a message of exhaustion to the world. This negative mask is a direct consequence of ignoring the inner pressure. But when the face begins to fail, the natural reaction is to reach for a quick fix, leading to a profound betrayal in the vanity industry itself. 3. The snake oil trap. Why expensive serums? Fail. When the face begins to show signs of internal, stress-induced breakdown, the natural consumer reaction is panic buying, layering on the most expensive serums available. But this is the beauty industry's ultimate betrayal. No topical product can fix a chronic hormonal problem rooted deep within the body. The problem lies in misdiagnosis. You are attempting to address profound cortisol damage with products designed only for surface refinement. Serums used in high concentration on a stressed, inflamed, and already cracked skin barrier only cause further irritation and breakdown. This creates a vicious cycle of sensitivity and chronic inflammation. The vanity industry knows women will pay any price for a solution, yet they sell fixes that only address symptoms, keeping you on a costly, frustrating treadmill. They are selling you a distraction, so you ignore the internal hormonal problem. The cortisol damage is systemic, and no amount of superficial application can override that powerful internal signal. You are being sold an illusion that distracts you from the true root cause. And this deceptive promise leads many to seek an even faster, more artificial solution, freezing the fire with cosmetic injections. If you've ever felt frustrated by expensive snake oil serums that just don't work, like this content to show you agree. 2. The injection illusion, freezing a fire. For many, the ultimate quick fix against the relentless frown is freezing the stress with cosmetic injections. But treating a deep internal fire with a surface cosmetic solution creates a dangerous, unnatural illusion that only highlights the continuing structural collapse beneath. Neuromodulators temporarily silence muscle movement. You achieve a smooth brow, yet this surface solution does absolutely nothing to stop the underlying cortisol and collagenase damage that continues to degrade your skin. You have essentially paused movement in one area, while systemic catabolism runs rampant everywhere elsewhere. The result is a profound visual disconnect. The brow is unnaturally smooth, but the cheeks, jowls, and neck, the areas ruled by collagen and gravity, still show the accelerated thinning and sagging caused by the toxic habit. This illusion makes the structural decline of the rest of the face appear even more jarring. The cost of this maintenance is perpetual and draining. The true answer lies not in an artful cover-up, but in dismantling the toxic habit at its source. We have exposed the devastating ways stress chemically and structurally ruins your face. But the solution is equally powerful. It's free, accessible, and faster than you think at reclaiming your enduring beauty. 1. The power of the pause. Reclaiming your face. We have exposed the deep and devastating ways chronic stress chemically, structurally, and genetically ruins your beautiful face. But the good news is that the ultimate solution must be equally powerful, and it is not found in a serum or a syringe. The secret to reversing this toxic habit is free, accessible, and faster than you think. The key lies in reclaiming control over your vagus nerve, the master conductor of your parasympathetic nervous system. Stimulating this nerve is the only way to rapidly and organically lower your heart rate and drastically reduce that destructive flood of cortisol at its source. You have the power to stop the catabolic cycle simply by mastering a 30-second pause. Techniques like slow, diaphragmatic breathing, breathing deep into your abdomen, or even simple humming or gargling for 30 seconds physically vibrate and stimulate this nerve. This sends an immediate, clear signal to your brain. The crisis is over. This practice instantly and measurably lowers the internal inflammation that causes redness and restores the healing environment, providing a physical, rapid reset. Control over your enduring beauty is not a purchase, it is a practice. By mastering the power of the pause, you reclaim your face and affirm the wisdom and grace that comes with true, profound stillness. We have traveled deep beneath the surface to expose the true toxic habit that steals your beautiful radiance. But more importantly, we have armed you with the powerful free knowledge to stop it. If you found this essential wisdom empowering, please affirm our community by liking this video and subscribing for more timeless beauty secrets. Because the real path to enduring elegance is always internal.